What's going on, Colts Nation? I appreciate you joining me for another video today. I want to take a little bit of time away from talking about guys that we could have, talk about some of the guys that we do have on the team that are still currently Colts at the current moment. It's Pro Bowl week, so there's some guys that are going to be representing the Colts. You look at who made the Super Bowl, right? And now with the Chiefs going to the Super Bowl, there are some alternates that the Colts end up having in this game. So they're going to end up being DeForest Buckner and Ryan Kelly. And those are two guys that should have been making it anyways. They were absolutely fantastic this year. There are other Colts that deserve to go, in my opinion, or at least should have been in consideration. And we're going to talk about one of those guys, but we're also going to talk about a guy that did make it. Okay, and that's Gardner Minshew, who steps in. And when you look at Gardner Minshew, you just break down what he did this year just by the numbers. Right now, the numbers don't tell the full story, but these are the numbers with Gardner Minshew this year. Okay, he ends up with a 7-6 record. And his stats as a passer, you have 62.2% completion percentage, 3,305 yards, 15 touchdowns, and 9 interceptions. So while 3,300 yards in 13 games, that's a good chunk, right? That's a good bit. That's more than a lot of other quarterbacks end up getting to. But you look at 15 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. It's not terrible, but it's not great. It's not Pro Bowl level. 13 games, this dude had 15 touchdowns. I just don't understand how we got to a point in the NFL where this is what's happening now. There's also the fact that a lot of quarterbacks, specifically in the AFC, ended up getting hurt. There were also quarterbacks on other teams that ended up not performing well this year, i.e., you have Justin Herbert. I think Justin Herbert could have been a guy that gets slotted in, and that's just not something that we're going to see happen. Right. When you look at the other names of guys, the other quarterbacks that end up making it, you had, and these are all the guys, the alternates included Tua Tagovailoa, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, C.J. Stroud, and Gardner Minshew. And I got to tell you, like, one of these guys just doesn't fit in with the rest. When you think about what the other guys were able to do this season, the other four quarterbacks, for one, they made the playoffs. Two, they were electrifying. The Dolphins' offense was crazy. Lamar was crazy this year, probably going to be the MVP. Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes, and CJ Stroud had maybe and probably the best rookie season of any quarterback ever, at least since Andrew Luck. So Gardner Minshew making it to the Pro Bowl in itself is a problem. But now you have Gardner Minshew making it to the Pro Bowl and a guy like Zaire Franklin that did not make it to the Pro Bowl. The only person that had more tackles for their defense this year was Bobby Wagner, one of the best, if not the best, linebacker that ever played the game. Now, in my opinion, it's Ray Lewis, but you'll hear Zaire Franklin talk about Bobby Wagner being the GOAT. I think Ray Lewis is the best middle linebacker of all time. Bobby Wagner up there. He's in that conversation. Zaire Franklin, if he continues to play this way and is able to do this for a sustained period of time, Zaire Franklin's going to be mentioned in that conversation one day. And the fact that he's done it 2 years in a row, 167 tackles last season, comes back into this season, 179 tackles. Now, the thing that we miss out with Zaire Franklin that you're going to see other linebackers do that we saw Shaq do for years is the turnovers, right? He'll get some forced fumbles, but Zaire Franklin, over 2 years of being a starter, does not have a single interception. So that might be something that sways this. But Zaire Franklin not being a Pro Bowler and Gardner Minshew being a Pro Bowler is ridiculous. And by the way, I'd like to give credit for somebody who was in the comments and told me that this is something I should make a video about. I thought it was a great idea. I was a little late. I had seen other creators make videos about Pro Bowl and this and that. I was a little late because of my day job, so I just didn't make it. They gave you the content. I went ahead and let them have that. So coming up with this, want to give credit where credit's due. Thank you for the idea. I thought this was a good idea to talk about because it is ridiculous. It's utterly ridiculous that Zaire Franklin's not in the Pro Bowl. That by itself, that fact in itself is all you need. The only argument that I need to make, Zaire Franklin is supposed to be in the Pro Bowl. Zaire Franklin should have been an all-pro this year. Now, I understand, you have guys like Patrick Queen, Roquan Smith, some really good linebackers. But to just go and leave out Zaire Franklin is crazy. Now, why do they only have 2 inside linebackers? I have no idea, honestly. Kind of baffles me. I mean, are you really only going to rotate 2? I thought that, most of the time there's three, right? Like if you're going with three quarterbacks, there's three different rotations for the entire team. That's what I would have thought. Zaire Franklin should have been in the Pro Bowl. But for Zaire Franklin to not make it, and Gardner Minshew didn't make it, this is exactly what's wrong with the Pro Bowl. Like, what are we doing? I mean, I guess, with the way the Pro Bowl is now, and it's the Pro Bowl games, not, the Pro Bowl game. They're not playing the game like they used to. It's a bunch of different BS. Like, people just want to see who they want to see, right? And Gardner Minshew is popular. A lot of people enjoy Gardner Minshew, and rightfully so. He's a great dude. He's fun, and people want to see that. But Zaire Franklin deserves to have this on his resume. And that's what gets lost in all this. Like, sure, yes, I understand the fans want these people in. The fans don't know what they're looking at, dude. They know what they're told. Most fans hear what all these different, experts and all these former players say, and that's what most of us go off of, right? That's what most people are going off of. Most people don't know the small details of what makes a good linebacker, what makes a good receiver, and in those small details and what you're really looking for. So leaving it up to the fans when you're talking about resumes, right? Resumes is what gets people in the Hall of Fame. You can't let fans decide these kinds of things. And that's what irks me about this whole thing. Like, yes, it's not my legacy, right? I'm not Zaire Franklin. I'm not Gardner Minshew. This isn't my legacy I'm building. But as somebody who understands, like, not only the sacrifice that goes into playing football, the sacrifice of your brain, the sacrifice of your body, the things that these guys go through to get themselves ready week in and week out, the things that they have to sacrifice to reach a level of greatness. When you have that level of sacrifice, these guys should be able to reap the benefits of that. Just like, again, Zaire Franklin, not only should he have been a Pro Bowler this year, Zaire Franklin should have been an All-Pro. It's no question he should have been an All-Pro. Kenny Moore should be in 3 or 4 Pro Bowls. He should have a couple of All-Pros. Like, what are we doing? I don't know how the system got to the way the system is, but it seems like both of those systems aren't working. What is the criteria to make one? What is the criteria to make the other? And why are those not basically the same? Right? The Pro Bowl should be the best guys in the NFL. All pro teams should be all of the best guys in the NFL. But the fact that these teams, different, whether it's Pro Bowl or All Pro, they keep getting made up, and we don't really know how it happens. It just happens, and these guys are getting this many first place votes and this many second team votes, this many third team votes. Like, who cares, man? The best players should be the ones being recognized. The best players from that season should get recognized for their work, should get on their resume, should have it put on the resume forever that these guys were dominant and these guys deserve to get into these games, right? Like fullbacks and punters and kickers, the same guys are always going to get in because the average fan doesn't know what makes any of these guys good at their job. Who's going to go watch football for the fullback, right? In today's game, nobody's watching the fullback. So if there's a team in the AFC that uses a fullback, guess what? That guy's going to make the Pro Bowl because he's a fullback. Just like long snapper. Nobody knows really who the good long snappers are, but a long snapper's got to make it. So for me, like, again, this is a video idea from somebody in the comment section, but I thought it was a good topic to bring up, something, because this is something that I don't know if you can tell, but this is something that really bothers me. Like, it just, again, not my legacy. I just feel like it's a human thing to let these guys be recognized for the work that they put in. Of course, I'd like to know your opinions on all this. I don't know if you guys get as heated about this as I do, but I think this is a good topic to bring up with Colts Nation. Like, yes, we all like Gardner Minshew, doesn't belong in the Pro Bowl. I think we can all agree with that. Just like Zaire Franklin belongs in the Pro Bowl. Kenny Moore belongs in the Pro Bowl. Big Q belongs in the Pro Bowl. It should have happened. It didn't happen. You let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. Of course, don't forget to subscribe with notifications on so that you get notified when any of these videos come out. And of course, I appreciate you stopping by for another video. As always, take care of yourself, take care of each other, and go Colts.